Hi. So I first wanted to thank everyone for watching my last video, and you can find that right up here. So I recently moved into a much larger apartment in Japan, and I wouldn't actually say that my apartment is big. It's actually only 3 rooms. It actually is a lot bigger than the apartment I had before, which was a 1K. And a 1K is basically just an apartment that's 1 room with a little tiny separate kitchen and bathroom. That's all it is. It's actually not the smallest type of apartment you can get in Japan. You can actually get a 1R, which is a 1 room apartment. So literally everything, maybe besides the bathroom, is 1 room. The kitchen is in the same room as the bedroom. And usually it's not one huge studio room. It's like a tiny little, box. So those types of apartments they're good for someone who's really on a budget or for like students or something, but after 6 months of living in one of them, like you really feel claustrophobic and like you really need to move um somewhere else bigger, right? And I lived in one of these really tiny apartments, a 1K, not a 1R. I lived in one of these really tiny apartments for a year and 3 months. And at that point, I was utterly sick of it. It wasn't just the size of the apartment, it was the fact that the shower had problems. So I had to go to a bathhouse to shower. And the fact that there was construction right next to my apartment 6 days a week, which lasted over a year. So there were problems, right? And basically, I was like, you know what? I really want to look for a new place. And so I started looking for a new place, and I had enough money to try to find a new place. So that's what I did. And it took a bit of work, but I found a place. And with this new apartment, which is a lot more regular sized, I was finally able to like buy a bunch of new, things that I wasn't able to buy before because I just didn't have enough space. So today I want to show you some of the new household items that I bought because I finally have enough space for to put them, right? And it's really made me a lot happier, and I think a lot of these items are good investments that I will use for years to come. So I think it's a good thing that I did. So yeah, that's what I'll show you today. Let's get started.
Okay, so the first thing that I bought once I moved into a larger apartment was this washing machine. So basically, I had been using a coin laundry every week to wash my clothes because there was literally just not enough space for a washing machine in my apartment. So basically, I did actually have a washing machine hookup, like you can see here, but basically there was literally so little space that I had no choice but to put my garbage cans there because there was nowhere else to put them unless I wanted to put them in the same room as my bed, which I really didn't want to do. So this washing machine is a very cheap option on Amazon, but just because it's cheap does not mean that it's poor quality. I have used it and it does a good job. It does everything that it needs to do. It doesn't have many frills, but that's okay. I literally just need it to wash clothes. And I got it for around 25,000 yen, I believe. Here's the brand, Hisense, and that's the number HWK55E, I guess. I got it for literally like 25,000 yen, which is under 200 US dollars. So it's very reasonable and it does a good job, especially for the price. So I recommend getting this type of washing machine if you are moving into your own apartment in Japan for the first time. Okay, so the next thing that I got once I moved into my new apartment in Japan was a gas stove. So this gas stove has 2 burners, and usually I just use one burner at a time, or like I really only ever use one burner. So it really doesn't need to have a bunch of different burners. And it also has this little fish grill down here, which I haven't actually used yet, but I am probably going to use at some point, probably just to toast bread if I want to. And this particular stove, Actually, I got it secondhand. I got it from like a secondhand electronics store. And that doesn't mean though that it wasn't good quality because it's in really good condition and it does have like one scratch here, but it works. Other than that, it works perfectly fine. It's safe. And I got it for a real bargain. I got it for like under 10,000 yen, which means like probably like 60 or 75 bucks or something. And it does the job well. Then like in the back here, here's the little hose that like connects the gas. It was a bit scary at first, but once you learn how to turn it on or off, it's completely fine. You get used to it. Look at someone else's video for like instructions on how to use it because I feel like I'll mess it up and cause an accident if someone listens to me. So I'm not going to do that. Um, and I like basically at my old place, I really only had like one electric burner and it was in a really small space and I didn't cook that often because of that because I just felt cramped while cooking and like really didn't have the incentive to cook. I did a few times, but that was it. Like a few times in literally 1 year that I lived there. But ever since moving here, I'd say that I've cooked at least 5 times in the last like month and a half. And I'm not someone who usually cooks a lot, but I've really been getting into the habit of it. I'm making a lot of rice dishes and like slightly Italian themed rice dishes, and it's been really good. And just like having a bigger space really gets me into the habit of cooking, which I'm very grateful for. And the next big thing that I bought once I moved into a bigger space is this couch. It's a pretty small couch. It fits 2 people kind of comfortably. I'm not actually sure how comfortably though. The pillow does not come with it. I just put it there. Um, it's I kind of wish that I got a bigger couch or could like actually fit a bigger couch like in this space. But it's okay. At least I have something. And I'm like starting to learn how to sit on it comfortably because to be honest, it's not the most comfortable couch I've ever sat on. So if I move into an even bigger place, eventually I'll probably get a new couch. But like at least in the meantime, it's something I can sit on, like lay down on a little bit. And I'm actually ordering a blanket for the couch pretty soon. And I got this couch from Nitori. I think it was about like 30,000 yen. I think maybe a little over 30,000 yen. So around 200 US dollars. And the final like big thing that I got for my new apartment is this desk and this office chair. And basically my old apartment was so small that I literally like I maybe could have fit these 2 things in there along with my futon, but like it was to the point where like I would be feel so cramped if I had all of those things on there. And also if there was an earthquake, this stuff, a big one, this could have like fallen on my head. I don't know. Anyway, so I got this desk and this office chair and it is such an improvement because before I was actually using this little table as a desk and then I was just sitting on my futon right next to this table and using it as a desk and I was like hunching over and my back hurt really badly. So I'm really glad I was able to get this chair and desk. And these 2 things I actually did have to put together myself. The desk was from Amazon and it was easy to put together, but if you can see here, there's actually duct tape on the legs, and that's because the legs were kind of like slippery on the floor, which kind of made the desk wobble. So I put these on the legs and it actually really helped, and now it's a little more stable. And this chair here, I also had to put this together and it was rough. It was a stressful like hour and a half of doing it myself, but I did get it done and it's actually really comfortable. I'm glad because I need a comfortable chair with my back. I'm an ex-gymnast, so that screwed my back up a bit, but anyway. Yeah, so these were, I believe, my final 2 like big purchases that I got once I moved into this apartment.
Okay, and there you have it. That is the tour of the new items that I bought once I moved into this bigger apartment. Also, if you're wondering why I'm sitting on the floor right now, I'm actually using the tiny little desk thing that I showed you before. It's mostly just because the light is a lot better near the window, so that's why I'm doing it instead of sitting on that chair over there. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. I hope this might have given you some ideas about what to buy once you move into your own apartment in Japan. If you liked this video, then feel free to comment and tell me what new things you purchased when you moved into your Japanese apartment or into your bigger apartment in general. I'd love to hear it. So, yeah, I hope you have a good day. Bye!